Welcome to the second plenary session. What is there for Europe's industrial renaissance? Now we will try to understand how emerging industries and the innovations can drive change in Europe. Thank you for joining us again. Now you will see that we will have some presentations, and I please draw your attention on the presentations because they will be very interesting, I promise. And all the materials will be on the website of the EU Commission, and so everybody who wants to see what emerging economy is will find the works and the materials of this conference. So thank you for sharing us all this knowledge with us and with the European citizens. Now we will have a short presentations by Laurent Friederes, Bar van de Schurer, Rachel Lombardi and Francesco Cesario, and then Francesco Morace, and we will have a very short panel section. So please, I leave the stage to Laurent Friederes to the podium. Thank you. And he will talk about emerging industries, features, drivers, and potentials. And I draw your attention on the adjective emerging industries, which is not also innovation. We will understand what is it about better now in this session. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be with you here this afternoon. My talk in the program is sort of bylined as a scene setter, and I have to admit this is the first time I'm giving a scene-setting speech. So I did what anyone does when they find something new. They go on the internet, so I Googled scene setter. And the first list of search results all referred to party decorations and Halloween and so on. So I guess what the organizers had in mind is for me to provide a bit of a backdrop to the discussions that are to come. There are three very interesting case studies to come. And what I'm trying to do in the next few minutes or so is to provide a bit of a backdrop to that. As PwC, we've been working over the past 3 years or so together with DG Enterprise on trying to understand emerging industries and the innovations that drive them. First, under the European Cluster Observatory, where we did work on identifying and mapping emerging industries, and now under the Business Innovation Observatory, where we're identifying the latest business innovation trends and practices. What I want to do in my talk is to give you a brief overview of some of the features of emerging industries, explain to you how they're really crucial to how new value chains are being formed. I will introduce you to some of the innovation trends that are driving emerging industries and outline some of the characteristics and challenges. Some of my predecessors have already mentioned that emerging industries are all about cross-sectoral collaborations. We're really getting away from traditional industries, traditional sectors. Those boundaries are being broken. And there are drivers that are both on the market side, where there are new demands, new consumer demands, there's social change, there's environmental change that is driving these industries. But also on the innovation side, we've seen rapid acceleration in new innovations coming onto the market. Service innovation is a key driver. And also we've seen a massive explosion in R&D investments over the past years or so. Understanding emerging industries, it's about understanding the industry life cycle. What's key to understand is that emerging industries are not new. They are also about the transformation of existing industries. So new value chains are being formed, and the emergence, if you like, is the increase in scale and size of new industries that are being formed. So what we've done over the past few years is try to understand, what are the characteristics and what is the shape of those new industries. And it's really these cross-sectoral collaborations that are key between traditional industries, between new industries and new technologies. And what we've done in our work is to look at some of the signals that can be picked up that are a sign of which sectors are collaborating. So we looked at mergers and acquisition deals between different sectors, and we tried to map out how this is really building new bridges across different industries. So we've constructed this matrix, if you like, this kind of rather artistic picture up there is a matrix of, I think, 615 by 615 NACE codes, and kind of the flashes of color are the interlinkages that we've picked up based on 20,000 mergers and acquisition deals between existing sectors. So, for example, what we can see that there's a lot of cross-sectoral activity between manufacturing, which is the horizontal, the big kind of box, if you like, and also ICT, but also professional and scientific services. So these are really new industries that are being formed by companies buying other companies, by new types of relationships being formed. So what is this? What we've really seen is happening is that there are new value chains are being created. New industries are forming that are more issue-based, so getting away from the traditional sectors. In the work on emerging industries, we identified 7 key emerging industries, including eco-industries, mobility industries, and mobile services. And as our work has continued over the last year or so, we're picking up new signals of new industries, new transformative trends, if you like. For example, 3D printing, we will hear about in a minute, but also smart construction processes, predictive analytics. So the question really arises, are these new emerging industries, or what is really going on there? And in our view, it's really about new value chains that are being created. So perhaps getting away almost from the industry classification, or the way of thinking of industries as being in different boxes. I think new technologies, new innovations, new innovation processes are forming into very new and complex value chains. For example, 3D printing, smart construction. You can imagine a value chain related to new urban development, new houses. Mobility, bringing together 3D printing, predictive analytics, energy, and transport. So what are some of the underlying innovation drivers or the innovation trends that we've picked up? So as part of the work we've done on the Business Innovation Observatory, we really screened bottom-up companies across Europe and beyond to pick up those success signals, companies that have managed to raise funds, companies that have won innovation awards, that are really successful. So based on all that work over the past year and a half, we've been writing case studies, and we've identified some key underlying trends. There are some transversal trends like big data, which most of you, I'm sure, would have heard of, that are driving transformations across all sectors. So the volume, variety, and velocity of information out there has really exploded in over the last few years. And most of the information that is available today, I think 90% was created in the last 2 years or so. All this data creates huge potential for new business models, new business opportunities across different sectors. So some of the emerging industries, some of the you can call them emerging industries, innovation trends that we looked at include clean technologies. So this is new activities related to the circular economy. So the market pressures there also to be more environmentally efficient, but also driven by technological innovation. One example is in sorting recycling. There's a Finnish company that we looked at in one of our case studies called Zen Robotics, who are trying to create a recycling revolution, really. So they're putting their scientific brains together to try to find new ways in which to reuse materials. And they've brought together competencies, and I think this is a really interesting illustration of emerging industries, where you bring together expertise from the construction industry, from robotics, from ICT. A lot of this is software-driven, so really the digitalization of manufacturing. So what they've come up is these industrial sorting robots that sort construction waste based on the type of material, so wood, metal, and so on. And this is really quite impressive. I think there's still incremental innovations going on about speeding up the process and making this even more efficient. But this is really one practical example of how the circular economy is going to work. In manufacturing, we've really seen this shift towards smart factories, towards the digitalization of manufacturing, smart process applications, capacity optimization. And what we've really seen is that the borders, if you like, or the walls of the factories have come down, and that the users, in terms of subcontractors, suppliers, have come into the manufacturing process. So it's both about getting ideas from the outside, but also distributing the manufacturing process. So this is commonly referred to as crowdsourced manufacturing, both the ideas and also the distribution of the manufacturing. One company that we looked at in our case studies, Quirky, is a social product development company. They get ideas from a product designer community. An online community votes on these ideas, and then they prototype them, and then they produce them for the mass market. I mean, they have very fancy offices in Manhattan, I believe. They employ designers, but they also employ engineers, mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, and so on. And they use 3D printing. There's a 3D printer bottom left there to do rapid prototyping. The extension cord on your bottom right there was invented by a high school student. They did the prototyping with the 3D printers in their offices, and then scaled up manufacturing once the product was seen as potentially ready for the market. Design is also a key driver of innovation, and is leading to a lot of changes and also new opportunities. One aspect of that is service design, so the ways in which companies interact with their clients, their users, and so forth. Mobile services was one of the emerging industries that we identified previously. One example here is also in financial services. Point is a Swedish company that really redesigned the whole financial transaction process by making it more user-friendly and more user-adapted. So this, probably the least fun part of your shopping experience, is becoming more user-friendly, if you like. The customer experience is really getting to the center of what most companies do, both in terms of understanding what the customer wants, but also getting customers to do some of the work for you, providing enhanced support to customers, providing customers with incentives, and also understanding their needs better, for example, through neuromarketing innovations. In the context of big data, one of the biggest revolutions we're going to see, I think, is really predictive analytics. So big data is, you crunch the data, you understand what has happened, you might understand the present, but predictive analytics will take you to the future. It's try to predict future behavior of companies, of customers based on all the data that's available to you. So RapidMiner is a German company. So using predictive analytics in the manufacturing industry as well, they can predict when maintenance needs to be scheduled for particular machine based on all the data that's being collected throughout the production process. Also for understanding customer needs, churn prevention is essentially stopping your customers from leaving to a competitor. So using predictive analytics, you can predict when the customer is most likely to leave and go to a competitor and take preemptive action. So the key really thing is that we're talking about emerging industries, but I think behind all these emerging industries are innovative companies. So they are SMEs that have bright ideas that are trying to get these ideas to market. These companies are building connections with other companies, with larger companies. They are collaborating with users to develop new innovations. They're harnessing digitalization, social networks to go international and to bring their products to market more quickly. So just to conclude, I think what we really see is that there are challenges and opportunities that all these industrial transformations bring. And we're really going from traditional industry configuration to more issue-based value chains. And what regions can do is to really support firms in identifying unmatched needs, to provide support for internationalization and exports, and also perhaps go beyond the creation of really engineering local networks, if you like, to think about global value chains and how the local value chains integrate into the bigger picture. And being conscious of the time, that was my last slide. I will leave it at that. The information on those two projects that I referred to and the results are on emergingindustries.eu and on the website of the European Commission DG Enterprise, which you can find on the screen. Many thanks.